Hello and welcome to the SBN Newscast with your hosts, Scott and Kendra. Scott and I are delighted to have this platform to share a digest of the latest news from Scotland, give a roundup of what's happening in our global community, give you dates to put in your diary, and of course to share the stories and ambitions of our members and partners who join us on the show. You may have seen our last show presented by Scott, featuring a reel of the journey so far and some of the faces who have hopped on in front of the screen with Scott and I and shared their ambitions and stories with you all. It's been a lot of fun hosting this show with Scott, and we're looking forward to having more of our growing community join us. So if you're interested in joining us, get in touch with Scott or myself. For the last 10 days, we have worked with our global partners, SBN ambassadors, SBN members, and our wider SBN community to host our 10 days of Tartan Day celebrations, which was a series of events celebrating the links between Scotland and North America. Over the period, we welcomed an audience of over 600 to hear from 83 speakers and engage with 33 events, discussing topics such as innovation, culture, diaspora, entrepreneurialism, climate change, education, investment, and much more. But don't worry if this is the first time that you're hearing about it, as the replays are currently available to you if you visit tartanday.scot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kendra. Before we pass on to today's guests, I'm going to run down some of the recent news and events from SBN and the members. As Kendra mentioned there, we culminated our 10 days of Tartan Week celebrations last night, and you can find all the replays on tartanday.scot. But it's not just been us, and it's not just been Tartan Day that's been in the news. Some of the most exciting things that's happened to us this week is that we appointed 4 new ambassadors in the United States. We were delighted to welcome Eric McAleer in Baltimore, Adam Druff in North Carolina, Sabine Clark in Salt Lake City, and Alec Brazier in San Francisco. You'll be hearing about them in the coming weeks, but you can see their profiles on the SBN website for now. More members found themselves in the news this past week as well, with Spelfie, the space selfie, announcing the appointment of Graham Norton-Standen, former CEO of Gartner International, as their new chairman. Scots of the World, who members will be hearing more from on April 27th, also had some exciting news as they joined NYC Tartan Week to celebrate Scottish makers on their new platform. If you check out the link in the description of this video, you'll be able to see their full list there. Tom Thomas, our ambassador in Bangalore, continued to provide his India weekly update, where he runs down some of the key trade updates from India. Keep an eye out for this week's update going out today in the weekly newsletter, and catch all the previous updates on the website or the members portal. We also had some net zero news, as we've now officially launched an accelerator where businesses can sign up to the official Race to Zero and learn about the practical steps they can take towards reducing their carbon footprint today. It's going to be a much pressing issue as it comes closer and closer to COP26, so why not get involved now? STV announced some exciting updates to their Growth Academy, as they have announced an additional £100,000 of Growth Fund membership available to Scottish businesses. You'll be able to find more about that in the link in this video, or you can join the Growth Academy on their next event on April 29th to learn all about it. And we heard some exciting things from Karen Somerville and the team at Angels Shared Glass, as they've created their own unique tartan, aptly named Whiskey and Water. With the help of the team at Prickly Thistle, they've designed this unique tartan, which you can see on their website. Our new ambassador, Adam Druff, also shared some news this week as his company, Dude Solutions, launched their new software, Capital Predictor Core. You can learn a lot more about that on the website as well. But it's not just news. There were a couple of events focused on the hospitality industry reopening. The Institute of Hospitality hosted an event covering the steps that the Royal Yacht Britannia, Scotland's most popular tourist destination, have taken to prepare for reopening. And Elytra, who you might remember from Alan Graham appearing on the Newscast a few months ago, hosted a webinar for the hotel industry, looking at how to reopen, but most importantly, stay open. And finally, there's some exciting news coming out of Stirling University. But rather than me tell you, I'll pass on to our first guest.
Yes, we're delighted to welcome Pamela Crawford, Head of Careers and Employability at the University of Stirling. Hiya, Pam.
Hi, Kendra. Hi, Scott. Great to be here.
Do you want to start by introducing yourself to our audience and telling us a little bit more about your work at Stirling University?
Sure thing. My name's Pam Crawford. I'm Head of Careers and Employability at University of Stirling. And our careers and employability team work with our students and graduates across all disciplines. So we work a lot with business for a whole variety of reasons, much of it around student talent and recruitment, and getting students into business to support the work that you do, as well as obviously helping to shape our graduates coming out with really strong career management skills and fundamentally knowing where they want to go. So that's the kind of overview of what we do. And we work very closely with our academic partners within the university, because much of University of Stirling's work and its coursework embeds employability in the curriculum. So it's very much a whole institution approach to developing employable graduates.
Amazing. And it's great to have you with us today, because our team at SBN are such big advocates for the building of these linkages between universities and business, and the importance of building these ties in the development of future professionals. In fact, Christine and I were on a call yesterday with a student group at Stirling University that completed a project for us, and the insights that have been shared will be extremely valuable for us as we continue to improve our processes at SBN. So yes, we want to hear more about opportunities like this. So could you share a little more insight into your international talent pool, the project opportunities, and how businesses can get involved and benefit?
Absolutely, delighted to. I would say there is a plethora of student talent across the university, and a big part of our work is to embed work-based learning or work-related learning in the curriculum right across all courses. So we really want to make links with business and encourage businesses to come to us with projects, in-tray types of things that you may have thought, I really want to get this done, but I don't know where to start, or we don't necessarily have the skills or the knowledge in-house. So we have all this student talent, and students can undertake either more traditional placements, either face-to-face or virtual, and a lot of our placements have been virtual very successfully this year. Or you can engage a student to undertake what we call a collaborative project with business. So a student can undertake a bigger piece of research with your company. The disciplines, it covers everything from data management, data science, data analytics, to computing, to aquaculture, to digital media marketing, business solutions, environmental management, health sciences, social care, you name it. It's every discipline that we tend to have opportunities for that student talent coming out to you, supporting you with your business needs, and really, I suppose, helping to find solutions to issues that you as businesses are dealing with. And all, either undergraduate or postgraduate, there are opportunities for both there.
Such a broad range of disciplines that you mentioned there, and it does just give you that thought that if you are a business out there and you do have something that you're looking at a solution for, to get in touch with your universities. And we recommend getting in touch with Stirling University and other Scottish universities to see how you can start that collaboration between the relevant campuses and touch their talent pool and see the benefits of working with those involved. So Pam, you've also recently launched a way for business leaders to upskill. Can you tell us a little bit more about that opportunity, the courses, sure, and who's eligible?
Absolutely, Kendra. I mean, at the university, we do have a lot of strong business links, both locally in the Forth Valley area. We're involved in quite a lot of local employer networks, but also nationally and internationally. And I suppose our direction of travel is very much to support that business upscaling and growth. And there are a number of opportunities that have arisen recently that I think members would be really interested in. The first is, and the best words about it, are funded and free upskilling courses. There are 3 on offer at the moment in project management, work and leadership in the age of artificial intelligence, and the third one is in data analytics. And these are substantive, short courses, great courses, and they are funded. So you can apply now, and I know the links will be put up afterwards. It's a great opportunity to upskill existing staff or staff that are on furlough, or business leaders, directors of companies. Anyone really can apply. The eligibility is that you must have lived and worked in Scotland for 3 years, be working for a Scottish company, because it comes from Scottish government funding.
Great projects there, and a great opportunity for career development. I think I may apply for the project management one and see if I get a place there. You've also, your management school was also selected as one of 2 of the business schools in Scotland to support SMEs as part of the government's Help to Grow scheme. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great scheme, again, very much focused on business recovery, growth, upscaling. And there are 8 facilitated sessions, 2-hour sessions on topics such as strategy and innovation, building vision and brand, engaging and inspiring teams, financial management, creating customer value. Lots of really pivotal issues in terms of business development and business growth. So I would just really encourage membership to have a look at the programme. And I know there's going to be some further detail about it at some point in the near future with yourselves, talking to Kevin Grant, who is the Dean of the Business School at Stirling. But I would really encourage businesses to have a look. 90% is funded. So there is some outlay, but the vast majority of this is funded for businesses, and the funding comes from Richie Sunak.
Great. Well, we'll definitely be speaking to Kevin soon to give more information on that, but I encourage members and our wider community to look at the link there to see if there's something that could give you that boost to improve your business's performance, resilience and long-term growth. But I'd like to thank you, Pamela, for joining us today to give that insight, and I'm sure we'll speak to you again soon, and we'll make sure those links are shared with our community. Thank you
all. Bye.
Thanks very much, Pamela. I would like to welcome our next guest, Jonny Downie, London Relationship Ambassador for SBN. Hi there, Jonny. Thanks for joining us. Before we start, I wondered if you could just introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, thanks, Scott. So I'm Jonny Downie. I'm the London Relationship Ambassador for the Scottish Business Network. I got the position in, I think, early February, and I've been kind of following the Scottish Business Network for probably like 18, 24 months now. So I've been to a few events. So, delighted to take on a more formal position and help the SBN reach its kind of, London and global mandates. So yeah, very excited to kind of be part of the team.
Yeah, it's great to have you on as well. I mean, 5 years ago, this started as Scottish London, and it's snowballed since then, but we very much still see London as a key market. And as we keep telling people, it's an export market for Scotland, and they shouldn't be too afraid of it. But before we sort of touch on your ambassadorial role, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about your background and how a young Scot built a career for himself in London.
Yeah, so I've always been fascinated by London. What drew me to it initially was I was a fledgling kind of singer-songwriter at university way back in Edinburgh Napiers, where I studied law. And I'd been down for a few gigs, and a friend of mine stayed down here, and I was keen to explore what career opportunities there would be. So I joined I was the second employee actually of a kind of mid-tier consultancy. We did regulatory change work for investment banks, sorting out all the naughty boys from 2007 and 2008, naughty boys and girls. And that grew from, a few thousand kind of turnover to, in 5 years that I was there, it grew to kind of 5.5, 6 million revenue business. And I opened up the Polish office as well.
Wow.
And moved to DWF, where it was a law firm where I helped build their global framework. So I was based in the walkie-talkie in Canary Wharf as well. So it's been a good old journey, and I've recently just joined consultancy again, Albany Beck, as an associate partner. and it's a project really close to my heart because it's helping them expand into Scotland. So
oh wow,
it's going to be a great old project. They're involved in financial services as well, that kind of consultancy, that sector. So it's a project very close to my heart. So yeah, looking forward to this kind of next chapter with Albany Beck, and helping them go from their London core to Scotland.
Yeah, strengthen your ties even more between London and Scotland.
Exactly.
So, you sort of touched on it there. I met you for the first time in January 2020 as you hosted an SBN event for us at the offices at DWF in London in the walkie-talkie, and then a year later, we have announced you as the London Relationship Ambassador. Could you tell us why you wanted to engage more with SBN and maybe shed some light on how you can support members coming to London in your new role?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, the London event in the walkie-talkie building, which you're talking about. I mean, it was just the warmth of the room. You didn't feel like it was one of these networking events where you're like, oh God, I can't go over and talk to that crowd. I can't, they're in a huddle. It was just the warmth of the whole room. You could go and speak to anyone, and they would be more than welcoming. And there was no, there's no sales pitches. It was just curiosity. It was, what do you do? Okay, this is what I do. And it was just so natural. So I was keen to get in touch with Christine Essen and Russell as well, to say, how can I make this tie more official and more formal, and help reach the mandates of the SBN in London and the South East. So you've got Paul Forrest, who's the London ambassador, and I'm the London Relationship Ambassador. The way I see my position is more on a kind of one-to-one basis. So it's more on the direct connection with the members and prospective members as well, and helping them with their business asks. So if they're looking to expand into London, or if a business is looking from a London-based business looking to expand into Scotland, it's helping engage them with the kind of the Scottish diaspora in London, or it's helping engage them with the Scottish network in Scotland itself. So it's very much on that kind of more one-to-one basis, which I'm really enjoying, kind of going around. But I tell you, I cannot wait until it's not on Zoom anymore, and it's more we've got a meeting point in London. I hope to kind of host a kind of monthly meeting point, and just get people together in person again, and really engage on that kind of level. But right now, Zoom will have to do.
Yeah, I remember the January event specifically because we had Anna McDonald singing live. I mean, yes, you're right, it wasn't just a standard networking event. But you sort of led in very well to my next question. It's about meeting people. So in 2021, the UK is changing, and hopefully at the end of summer we'll be able to do things physically again. And I know you and our CEO Christine Essen have been talking about bringing people together physically in London. That's what I know you've mentioned, maybe about these monthly gatherings. I wondered if you could maybe touch on that a little bit more and maybe explain what you've got planned and what you hope to bring the members together to achieve.
Yeah, it's very exciting with Christine's plans, and it's a pleasure to work with Christine. She's absolutely amazing. So we've got these plans for a gathering at London Scottish House in early September. More details to follow. Don't want to give away too much, just in case the timelines kind of change due to the restrictions not being eased when we think in the timelines. But it's going to be a good gathering, hopefully early September, of the Scottish diaspora in London, and hopefully getting people down from Scotland as well. I've already been engaging with some of the members on that, and also some prospective members as well. So it's going to hopefully be the great and the good of Scottish business in London, and it's sounding like it's going to be a fantastic event. So fingers crossed, all the easement plans happen June, and come September, that will hopefully be kicking off the rest of the year in business as usual kind of form.
Yeah, I mean, we've got that great space in the Scottish House as well, which is enormous. So we've got plenty of space to bring people in. So thank you for joining us, Jonny. Just before we round off, I wanted to say if there are SBN members who haven't touched base with you yet, what's the best way to reach you?
LinkedIn, avid LinkedIn user, or you can get me on my SBN email, which is johnny@sbn.scot. So I'm always keen to get in contact and talk to any members or prospective members as well.
Brilliant. Yeah, but we love LinkedIn at SBN, so we're not surprised to hear that's your active on. Well, Jonny, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will hear from you again in the future and hopefully see you in September.
Yeah,
perfect.
Here we are.
Thank you so much, Jonny.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for our speakers who joined us today. But before we round up, we've got some events coming up for you to look out for. On April 26th, London Scottish House are hosting a virtual coffee break where Letty will be sitting down with well-kent face Graeme McWilliam of Glencraft. Also on April 26th is the next edition of the University of the Highlands and Islands Leadership Perspective series. They're going to be interviewing George W.S. Abbey, former director of the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Then on April 27th, we have our monthly Scottish Business Showcase, where we bring the members together to listen to 3 Scottish business leaders share and ask. We will be joined by Graham Kerr of Scots of the World, Fiona McKinnon of the Moment Company, and Colin McMillan of Firstport. We also have another exclusive masterclass this month with Dr. Mary Macklin, CBE. Then on the 29th, the STV Growth Academy returns to talk about business support from their growth fund. And then finally, on the evening of the 29th, we'll be rounding off a month of events with the next SBN Coaching Forum. It's a place where we try to offer the support to the leaders within SBN that they have been supporting to their teams through a challenging year. Details on all upcoming events can be found on the SBN website, and members can RSVP on the members portal.
A lot to look forward to there, Scott. And I'd like to say a thanks again to our guests, Pam and Jonny, as well. And if you would like to join Scott and I on the show, just get in touch. And as we close today's show, we will leave you with a message from Ian Houston, our SBN Ambassador and President of SBN US.
Hello, my name is Ian Houston. I am the President for the Scottish Business Network in the United States and serve as an ambassador here in Washington, D.C. This has been an extraordinarily unique year.
Through these challenges, the Scottish Business Network has seen the worth of forging meaningful connections to be that much more essential. As a social enterprise not-for-profit, our goal has been to serve, support, and strengthen. These values are at our core. We have proactively and energetically convened well over 100 substantive events, programs, gatherings, meetings that have brought thousands of people together around the world speaking about Scotland and solutions. We have created programming that is promoting dialogue on key issues impacting Scotland, the UK, and the world. SBN has supported Scottish chambers with trade missions, established consistent dialogue with government leaders. We have accelerated the growth of our ambassador network and advisory members and established partnerships with several groups and organizations who are promoting Scotland and mobilizing the Scottish Diaspora. And the Scottish Business Network continues to promote Scotland in the media, in print, on the airways, and on social media.
And so as we have fulfilled these goals of supporting you and supporting these connections between Scotland and North America, I'm asking for your contributions, and we want to make it as simple as possible. If you go to the link attached to this video, you can make a contribution to SBN in furthering these connections that we are making to sustain the social enterprise that is SBN. Thank you so much for your consideration, and thank you for your support.